The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. For us, our first step began back in 2017 when we were a couple, right after we had gotten engaged. During our courtship and our dating, we had spoken about many topics that people have to discuss during their dating journey and their courtship journey. And among the topics that we discussed, one was building and owning a home someday. Back then, we had nothing, but over the years, we've seen the hand of God working. We've seen God moving and working in our lives in mysterious ways, in ways that even us, sometimes we lack words to explain. In 2017, the only thing we had was faith. Faith that was beyond just believing, faith that grew from believing to trusting that God would do what He says, that God would make His promises in our lives a reality. Hello, I am Janice, and welcome to Just Janice Janice. This is a channel where we love to uplift one another, share stories that inspire through the different journeys that we've gone through, and it is our desire to see, or it is my desire to see families thrive. It is my desire to see marriages thrive. It is my desire to see children are raised in a godly way. And so everything about this channel is just about ensuring that we are the best version of ourselves. And so if this is the kind of content that you'd like, kindly consider subscribing, kindly consider liking our videos and sharing with others, so that they too can be motivated, they too can be inspired, and they too can desire to live a life worth living. Just a few quick things, a brief history on how this started. You may be wondering how long have you been working on the house. So back in 2023 in December, it was my birthday, and my husband just he's a man of faith. He has this crazy faith. That's what I always tell him. Like, he's someone who does things that will leave you flabbergasted, will leave you with your mouth wide open and asking, like, are you sure you want to do this? And so he just told me that, you know what, sweetheart, I'm going out, I'm going to the shamba, and I'm going to measure the house. And I'm like, are you serious? You're not even an engineer. So I'm just like, this house is a simple house. It's not rocket science. So I don't need, I'll just follow the plan of the architect and just measure it. And so that's what he did. He went and bought, I think it's called white ash or something. And he did the measurements. He got some local guys and they dug the foundation. And then we just stopped at that. And so come 2024, in March, we did the setting. In March, we did the setting. So that's when he brought in a consultant to just oversee and to make sure that the measurements he had taken and how they had dug the foundation, they were digging 3 feet. So how they dug the foundation, they made sure that, the consultant made sure that it was okay. There was nothing much to be corrected. And so the consultant, together with my better half, they worked together and they did the setting of the house. And I think a day or 3 days later, they started putting up the foundation stones, in which they did 4 courses. And so we did the foundation, completed the foundation, and we did the backfilling with the maram and we did the slab back in June. We did the slab in June, and so we rested. We were like, let's stop there, let's take a breath first as we wait and see how God will open a door. so that we can start now with the walling. And so we rested in April and we rested in May, and so we resumed in June, and that's when we started the walling officially. So during the resting period, we had some 21 days of, doing curing for the foundation slab. And so in June, we resumed, and yeah, we continued up to sometime I think it was sometime in October, and then also we just took a break. No, actually we took a break in August. We took a break in August. Reason being, we reached somewhere like the design, and I'll talk about this later when I'll be giving you a tour of the outside of the house. And the design of the house, we had what we call a concrete fascia, or what we call a parapet. It's a modern way of doing the fascia. And this concrete fascia or the parapet, it's actually not so modern as we are believing right now, because right now we are seeing so many homes are adopting the concrete fascia as opposed to using the wooden, the way people use 8x1 cypress to do the fascia boards, and then they connect the gutters. So that's what Kenyans, I think, we have preferred for a long time. And our architect, being a Nigerian, he did for us what they have been doing at their place, which was the concrete fascia. And so when we reached that point of doing, just after the window, is it called the window lintel? Yeah, I think it's the window lintel. And we brought in a structural engineer to consult for us on how to do the concrete fascia. And my goodness, the costs that he gave us, it was like 400,000, and like we were like, oh my goodness, that's too much, because that's what we were hoping to use, maybe to just get the iron sheets for doing the roof. And so we were like, you know what, we will not manage to do this. So we decided to go back to what we Kenyans love to do, and that is going back to the traditional one, which is having the fascia boards as opposed to doing the concrete fascia. And so we took a pause just to think, and when we opted to do the normal one, we just used the remaining materials to add two more courses after the window lintel, and we did the traditional one using the fascia boards. And finally in October, God opened a door for us, and we managed to get iron sheets, and we brought in somebody to do the roofing. And he did the roofing in 2 weeks, and yes, that's it. So we took a pause, and we didn't entirely take a complete pause. We had some small works ongoing. We had the electrician coming in and just doing the first phase of piping. And also when this house was on hold, but there was still work that was ongoing in the compound, and that was us working on our tank house. So we made sure that nothing stopped. I remember when we were doing the groundbreaking for our compound, the pastor we brought in, he's a pastor friend of ours, he's a very nice man of God, and he prayed, and one of the things that he said and he prayed about was that when we start this construction, that we shall not stop at any point because materials are missing. And so this was actually, he just prayed in faith. He prayed by faith, and we saw this prayer coming to reality, because when we paused, when we took a halt in working on the 3 bedrooms, the tank house, we started to work on the tank house. So whenever we took any break, work was going on in the tank house, because we felt the budget that cannot serve in this house can serve in the tank house. And if you're wondering how the tank house looks like, kindly look for my very first video that I ever did on this channel, and you will see the tank house. It is there, and you will see how beautiful it is, and you can learn something or two from it. And so that's it. And then we resumed work, because in December we had a lot of work that was going on. As missioners, we had a mission that we were doing in the Nyanza part of the country, and so we took a pause in December, and then we resumed now officially in January, where we have been doing the plastering of the house. And so that was also another step of faith. We had only one fundi, one fundi and one assistant, who has been working on this house ever since, from, I think that was from 2nd of January until today. We didn't want the house to stop because we didn't have enough funds to bring many fundis. So we just had this one fundi. He's also a pastor. He's actually very good. He has been doing a very good job with the plaster work. And so he has been doing this. He spent 6 weeks doing the inside of the house, plastering the inside of the house. And now he has just moved to do the exterior part of the house. And we thank God for this far. So yes, if you're there and you want to start your journey of faith, do not fear. Embark on that journey of faith. If you don't know where to start from, pray to God to give you direction. If you already know where to start from, but you don't know where to get land, kindly consider watching my video on the reasons why you should buy land now. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's connect in the comment section and share your thoughts. Ask any question and I'll be more than glad to answer and to give you feedback. God bless you, and let's catch up in the next video.